Welcome back to Vickie's Country Home. Today I'm going to talk about my updates in my garden and my harvest, and we're going to be canning some pickles. Here's pictures day by day of what I'm bringing in from my garden, and it's just so exciting. I'm getting tons of green beans. I'm about to do canning on those. Cucumbers. The tomatoes I'm harvesting early because we had a squirrel that was eating them, so I'd rather pick them a little early and at least have my tomatoes. Hello everybody. Today is Tuesday the 22nd, day after the big eclipse that we didn't see much difference here. It happened, it was 84% I think, but we really didn't see much difference in the color of the sky. So I'm out here in my garden and I'm about to pick vegetables, but right there you can see my watermelons are just looking gorgeous. My yellow squash and my butternut's going crazy. I got all kinds, and this, I think Linda mentioned that these are slow to get started, but when they do, look out. And yeah, because, I mean, just right here, I don't know, there's 3 or 4 easy good sized ones. And then I've got more on the other side, and my tomatillos. They're incredible. There's tons of them that are already making the little bubbles, and then I don't know if you can see this thing is just covered in blooms, and it's huge. Probably 3 feet across and about 4 feet tall. And this side, the bush is slightly different, more open, but boy, it's still just going crazy, and there's lots and lots of tomatillos making. And that's all my zucchini. I've been getting pretty regular. And I've got just a whole bunch more of the butternut over here, there, and there's a huge one back here behind the zucchini and some smaller ones. They're just all over the place. So I'm looking forward to that because I love butternut squash. And then back here is my cantaloupe. And I think I've got 5 cantaloupe. I had one more and ants got it, so I stopped the ants pretty quickly. I found them. They had just gotten into a very small part of it, so I cut that off and we ate it because it was ripe. And oh my gosh, it was wonderful. So now, well, my shadow is in the way, so it's hard for you to see. See if I can come this way. I have a couple of small ones over here. And then there's a larger one right there. Another small one. And then I've got a really good size, in my shadow, sorry. Can't tell. Right down there. So they are just doing beautiful. I put some diatomaceous earth to try and discourage the ants. So hopefully that's going to take care of that problem. And I'll show you my other garden in a minute. So that's what our sky is looking like right now. It's a big threat, but I don't know if we're going to get any rain or if it's just threatening. So I'm trying to get my garden picked that I do every day before we get any weather. And just, my garden just is making me so happy this year. The kale, the cabbages, and Swiss chard, and my asparagus is just going to be so happy next year with all this energy it's making. And I've even got a bunch of seeds for it. So I'll be picking those and see what happens. And this broccoli that I was just going to let go to seed is now making more broccoli. So I'm going to pick that. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. There's not a lot. But I'll pick it and use it. And I have a whole bunch of green beans. All this dark green right there. and they're making like crazy. And my sugar snap peas, just every day I'm bringing in a large handful, so it's really great. I love it. More Swiss chard, one more green bean by itself. And then I've got green beans, sugar snap peas, one little potato that came up. And then I've got green beans there and in 3 more pots over on the other side. And they're all just making tons. I think I'm getting about half a pound of green beans a day. So yay, I'm gonna get to can some soon. And all of this Greek oregano that I thought I had dug out, well, I didn't get it all, so it's all over this bed. I may leave some, but I don't know yet. I'm gonna put it in other places that make more sense. And I've got peppers that are making back there. I've got carrots that are doing beautiful that I think I need to pick now. And I've got some pak choy, or baby bok choy. Some basil that I need to go prune because it's making seed. And I have tons of peppers. I've got jalapenos here. And I just picked about 8 serranos off this little plant a few days ago. And it's still got, I don't know, about 7 or 8 there now. So just doing wonderful. My tomatoes are starting to turn red, and I had been pulling them out before they got completely ripe because we had a squirrel that was munching on my ripe tomatoes. So now I think we took care of the squirrel, and we're gonna try and let these ripen on the vine more. But I have just tons of green tomatoes here. Just everywhere you look, it's beautiful. And I've got blackberries down here that are starting to make. There we go. I haven't really seen raspberries over here, so I'm not sure what's going on, but I've got tons of raspberry bushes. Oh boy, thunder. My strawberries that hopefully will start making again now that it's cooling off. And we put netting to keep the birds out. And Brian just built me a little kind of hoop house thing, and we laid the netting over it. And there's just tons more tomatoes. They are just beautiful. I have big beef, celebrity, a lot of Romas, and I'm just so pleased this year. I don't know if you can see how many tomatoes are on these bushes, but they are full. And they're just getting to that point where they're starting to ripen, so this is the fun part. And there's my other green beans. Like I said, about half a pound a day. So I'm gonna get with it before that thunder gets any closer, because I don't want to be out in the open with it. So just a quick update. So I don't know if you can see it. I'm in the garden, and these are my green beans right in front of me. But right on the other side of the fence are some weeds that are blooming. And this is the one advantage to living out here and having all these weeds. These bumblebees are happily pollinating all of these flowers. And it's right against my garden. So guess what? They're also happily pollinating my garden. And I'm loving it. So, yeah, I got a lot of weeds. But you know what? I'm being blessed with a whole lot of pollinators that are coming to play in my weeds. Win-win. Hey everyone, it's me again. Today I've got a lot going on, but one of the things that I have to get done is make pickles. My friend called me and said, I have all these pickles and I don't have time to can them, so I'm going to send them over to you. It's like, great. Okay, now I got to make time. But it's a good thing. So I'm really blessed to have that kind of friend. So I've got, probably 11 or 12 pounds of pickling cucumbers. So I'm going to be slicing these up. I'm going to use my mandolin. But I'm going to do this long ways because I like the long slices, whether they're for a sandwich or whether I chop them up in my Vidalia Chop Wizard for a potato salad or something like that. Just much easier to use, so why not do it to start off with? So I am going to slice up all these cucumbers, get them in jars, and get them canned up. All right, so I've got part of the cucumbers sliced up. I'm only going to do them as they'll fit in the canner. So I have 8 1.5 jars, and if I have room I will make up another jar. But I've got the jars filled to 1/2 inch. I've got pickle crisp, which is calcium chloride, I think. A 1/4 teaspoon about in each one, maybe a tiny bit less. And now I'm gonna ladle in the brine again to 1/2 inch. And then these are gonna go in the canner. And this is water bath. And you want to make sure that you debubble these and make sure there's no air bubbles down in there trapped. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Okay, let's see how that goes. And you have to be careful because the liquid is very hot. And I don't think you can see, but I am getting air bubbles out. So you want to release those bubbles. Yeah. Make sure you don't have pockets of air because that will cause it to not heat properly and evenly. And I make a mess every time I can, so it's all good. So I'm going to add a little bit more. Okay, so now I'll clean the rim. Grab a lid, and I have these in hot water over there. And finger tight. And then in the canner they go. So I'm going to do these 8 jars and see if I need another jar. I'm not sure. I want to fill the canner, so I will bring you back when I'm at the next step. Alright, so I managed to get 8 jars of the soon-to-be pickles into my stainless steel canner, which I love this thing. It's got so much more room, it seems, and it's got a clear lid so you can see what's going on. So I've got the jars in there. I've got over 1 inch of water on top. There's not much room for any more. The 1.5 jars are slightly taller than the quarts, so I think these are made more for quarts, but you know what? We make it work. And I'm going to put the lid on. I'm going to bring this up to temperature. It's going to be just at a boil. And once it's up to the right temperature, then we will start timing. All right, so my pickles have processed for 20 minutes. The recipe calls for 10 minutes for quarts. These are 1.5 pints, so you process them the same as you would quarts. So now that these have processed for their 20 minutes, I'm going to take the lid off and I'm going to let them sit in that hot water another 5 minutes to kind of equalize. And then I'll take them out and put them on a cloth to cool off. Alright, so this is what I got. 14 jars of dill pickles and 1 jar of water that I threw in there so that it wasn't wasted space. I did use a mix for the brine because I had it and these were given to me, so I just used what I had. And I used the Mrs. Wages, so I followed the instructions on the label. The directions say to process for 10 minutes. I did that plus the additional 10 for my altitude and 1/2 inch headspace, and these came out beautiful, so we have a lot of pickles. So thanks for watching. Thank you for joining me again at Vickie's Country Home. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and share with your friends. Thanks for watching.